Amidst the moonlit darkness, the graveyard stood silent, its tombstones like silent sentinels bearing witness to the mysteries that unfolded within its hallowed grounds. This was no ordinary cemetery, it was the resting place of generations, a place where time seemed to stand still, and where eerie tales were etched into the very fabric of its existence. One chilly autumn evening, a young journalist named Emily decided to explore the legends surrounding the old cemetery. Armed with her recorder and a notepad, she ventured into the heart of the graveyard. The wind whispered through the trees, creating an unsettling symphony of rustling leaves. Emily couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. As she walked along the narrow pathways, her footsteps echoed eerily against the gravestone. The air grew colder, and Emily's breath formed misty clouds before her. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught her eye. An old caretaker's shack, tucked away near the edge of the cemetery. The windows were shattered, and the door creaked ominously in the breeze. Summoning her courage, Emily entered the shack. Inside, she found dusty tools and remnants of a long-forgotten era. But what drew her attention was an ancient journal, its pages yellowed with time. As she flipped through its entries, she discovered tales of inexplicable occurrences, phantom footsteps, ghostly apparitions, and even whispers that seemed to emerge from the very earth itself. Intent on unraveling the mystery, Emily continued her exploration. She reached the oldest section of the cemetery, where weathered gravestones bore inscriptions that were barely legible. It was here that she felt an unsettling presence, as though the spirits of the departed were watching her every move. As the night deepened, Emily's flashlight began to flicker. She glanced around nervously, feeling a chill creep down her spine. A soft, distant moan carried on the wind, raising the hairs on her arms. She followed the sound, leading her to a crumbling mausoleum. Its doors were slightly ajar, inviting her to step inside. Heart pounding, Emily entered the mausoleum. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and the dim light revealed ancient coffins and faded frescoes that depicted scenes of death and rebirth. As she moved deeper into the chamber, a whisper seemed to echo in her ears, a voice from the shadows. "Who dares disturb our slumber?" Emily froze, her breath caught in her throat. Before her, a figure emerged from the darkness, a translucent figure dressed in clothing from a bygone era. The ghostly apparition's eyes bore into hers, and she could sense a mixture of sorrow and anger. "We were forgotten by the living," the ghostly figure intoned, "trapped between realms, yearning for release." With a trembling hand, Emily extended the journal she had found. The ghostly figure glanced at the journal, its expression shifting from anger to curiosity. As if compelled by the written words of its own past, the apparition's form wavered, its features growing fainter. A soft, ethereal sigh filled the mausoleum as the ghostly figure began to fade away. Emily watched in awe and trepidation, witnessing a specter find solace and release after countless years of longing. As dawn approached, Emily left the mausoleum and the graveyard behind. Her heart raced, her mind awash with the astonishing encounter she had just experienced. The stories within the journal were no longer just words on a page, they had come to life before her very eyes. With her notes and recordings in hand, Emily vowed to share the truth behind the graveyard's ghastly legends. As the sun rose, casting its warm light over the cemetery, Emily knew that the restless spirits had finally found peace, their stories unveiled to the world, and their haunting presence forever etched in her memory.